Michael, do you know CPR?
How hard could it be, right? Who's dying?
Chrono Trigger!
No! No! Don't die on me, you bastard! Come back! Stay away from the light!
Is it dead? Oh, I'll go get a shovel then.
Wait, oh, I just remembered. I know a guy.
Who'd you kill this time?
Chrono Trigger?
I'll be right there. Let's get to work.
Okay, so here's the thing, is we got this big old stack of super awesome boxed SNES games in, but as you can see, the boxes are pretty haggard. They've definitely seen better days. And the thing is, these cartridges, look at it. They're minty fresh. They're like the nicest looking cartridges, the best looking labels I've ever seen. In fact, I thought they might be fake because they were so nice, but I opened them up, I inspected the boards, everything is legit in there. It's literally just the boxes and my heart that are crushed.
So what do we do with them then? What's the solution? Do we put them out as damaged and mark them down a bit? I'm assuming, seeing as we're here, we have another method, right?
Yeah, so that's the thing, is our buddy Dan here has been fixing up crushed boxes like these for a while now. What's your method, Dan?
The method is the heat press. So as you can see, this is the perfect candidate for the heat press. So what we're going to do is open this up. And Super Nintendo boxes have a seam on the inside right there. So we need to make sure that we put a piece of cardboard inside to protect it while we're doing that. So we're going to insert this cardboard right here so that when it's flat,
that seam isn't raised up.
Exactly. Now, you have to make sure all of the pieces are facing the direction you want. So we'll get it like that. Now we can swing out the heat press. Very important is you must have parchment paper.
Not wax paper.
Exactly. But with this parchment paper, the heat press won't be able to damage the art, which is very important on a very expensive game like this.
Yeah, don't want to raw dog the Chrono Trigger.
We want to make sure anything that's lifted, we put down in the right direction, because the heat press, it's a giant iron. It's just going to press it down exactly how you put it in there.
Does it matter if it's face up or face down?
I'm going to put this one face down.
Okay.
And we're going to put it in here. And I also like to add an additional cardboard. You want to make sure that if there's any printing on it, it's facing away from the art. Otherwise, it will transfer. That would be a very bad mistake. So once you feel like you have it in a good position, this heat press actually has this slide. And it's already ready to go because I have it preheated. So
what temperature are we doing?
So on this one, we're going to do 180. There's many discussions about what's the right temperature. I've seen anywhere from 160 to 250.
And the amount of time that you put it in there, it's kind of hard to find consensus on the internet too.
Exactly. I feel like the best is whatever works for you. I've done a lot of trial and error. I feel like 180 is the safest temperature because I don't risk burning or melting anything. And if I need to leave it longer, I can. So my typical time is 15 minutes, sometimes an hour, if it's really crushed.
Is it ready to rock?
Yep, it's ready to rock. So what we're gonna do is make sure this is all straight. So this handle is going to add the pressure, which does a lot of the work. So we're gonna press down. And you can kind of feel how hard that was. If you need it a little tighter, this one lets you tighten it right there. So Carl, while we're waiting for this to finish pressing, did you have any questions about the process, heat presses, anything?
Where do you get something like this?
So this is a standard t-shirt press. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them secondhand for pretty cheap. I would say, unless you're restoring a lot of boxes, it's probably not going to be worth it.
Have you had any disasters with it?
So far, I've only had one. And when I first got it, I didn't realize how much pressure it took. So I over-tightened it, and my manual just had a big pressure point right in the middle. But typically it's pretty foolproof as long as you don't overheat it or over pressurize it. It should be fine. These cardboard boxes, they're meant to be, you know, pressed. That's how they were made, so it's all good.
So can this be used on anything, or can a box be too far gone and not able to be repaired? Or
Yeah, for sure a box can be too far gone. This is one that I just did, and as you can see, it came out nice and square, but it's not gonna fix a crease where the printing is missing. But you can definitely square it up again. And you put this in a display box and it looks amazing. Water damage can be tricky because it can be too rippled, it can have other issues. But I have a lot of manuals in my collection that used to have water damage that you would never know now.
oh, so you can use it for manuals as well.
Yes, manuals, cover art. I found that cover art's one of the best ways to use it. If your PlayStation game looks a little wavy under the plastic, you give it a nice press and it will look great.
All right, so it's been about 15 minutes, you think?
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. That should probably do it with the amount of wear that we saw on that.
All right, let's see how she came out.
So we're actually not going to see for a minute because one thing you need to do is let it cool down under pressure so that it retains the press that you put into it. So we'll just leave that there for another minute.
Okay, how long does it usually take to cool back down?
Just a minute or two. So we'll just wait.
And this is important because
As it cools down, it can go back to the old shape. So we want to keep it under pressure while it's cooling so that the cardboard keeps the flat shape that we just pressed it with. All right, so it's been about a minute or two. Now we can see our results. Remove that. And we should be seeing a very flat box.
oh yeah.
Ooh, look at that square. That is nice and square now.
It actually is by square, so. Look at that. That's way better. Let's get a, oh yeah. So yeah, you can still see there's some wrinkling that didn't quite go, but from the side, it's not crushed in the way it was before. Okay, so that's kind of like a good example of what it can and can't do then, so.
Yep, and we could maybe try again and get that a little nicer, but I think the results speak for themselves. It is now a nice square flat box.
I think it looks a lot better. I almost kind of want to try running it a second time because I think with that little dip in the front, I wonder if we just didn't give it long enough. But from what you were saying, it's basically trial and error with the heat and the time, right? It's kind of every press is different.
And every damage is different. This might need an hour, so.
Okay, but it is looking a lot better. It's definitely a lot more flat. What do you think, Carl?
I think once you get it in a display sleeve, it's going to look fantastic.
That's not going to be a deal breaker for most people, you think?
I'd maybe run it again. I mean, that's the good thing about the process, right? You can just keep redoing it.
That's true. It's not a damaging process. But as you guys can see, there's still like on the back of it, wherever any of the ink has worn off or anything, obviously it's not going to help with that at all. Anytime that there's, you know, like cracking or something in that, it doesn't do anything with that. It didn't seem to make that worse, thank goodness, because I was worried about that. But it's just right here where that seam was, where the crush damage. It's still a little bit there, but it's a lot better. So I think we'll run it a second time off camera and just see how good we can get it. But that's a massive improvement over how it was, for sure. We should probably get one of these. I think we should get one. Well, thanks a bunch, Dan. I really appreciate you coming out and helping us figure out how to do the thing, preserve these pieces of history, and like restore a Chrono Trigger. That means a lot to me. I hate to see them get damaged and, you know, not be as beautiful as they could be. So that's really awesome. Oh, yeah, your payment. That's right. That's, here you go, buddy. No, okay, yeah, here, how about, huh?
Michael, you